All right, and Josephine Pasiani is our guest tonight. So while I made that introduction, I was expecting that Josephine is going to tag along Bishop, and she'll be telling us who Bishop is, as I mentioned this. But it's an honor to have you, Josephine. Walikuambia kipindi ni ya kina mama peke yake.
Aliniambia kipindi ni ya mama.
Wapi Bishop bana?
Ako
salama, eh?
Ako salama, yes.
Good to see you. Karibu sana, sana.
Thank you.
Asante sana for the great job that you're doing, as well as, you know, that commitment towards making sure that the society is a better place for the women. Kitu cha kwanza ambacho tutaanza kuzungumzia ni swali as simple as kwa nini? Why this focus on making a long journey, 170 kilometers kwa miguu for purposes of just addressing the concern of FGM and, you know, early marriages? Why kutembea and nothing else?
Kutembea tuliona it will help to sensitize the community.
Right.
So as we walk, watu wanasema hawa wanatembea nini, mnatembea kwa nini? So tunawaelezea sababu yenye tunatembea, na pia we worked to raise funds for the girls who are running from FGM and early marriages.
This was the first time that you were making that grand walk, or you have done
this is the second time.
This is the second time.
We did it 2022. Yeah.
All right, and you thought that it yielded lots of fruit, and therefore it was necessary to do it again?
Yes.
Perhaps you need to tell my audience, so that we begin from a point of them getting to understand what exactly then Josephine as well as Bishop have been doing towards addressing the concerns of FGM and early marriages.
Yeah. So we started. Our program started in 1997.
Right.
So it's been a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah, we support girls, teenage girls.
Right.
Actually from 9 years to up to 20 something. When they get a job, that is when they leave the safe house.
Okay.
But we decided to do this because we know girls are going through a lot of problems. Especially in Narok, we have a lot of problems concerning FGM, early marriages, and so on. So many other things because of the girls. So our program mainly deals with girls. Okay. So we said that we need to sensitize the community. And one way of doing it is walking. We sacrificed.
You walked from where to where?
We walked from Narok to Nairobi.
Okay.
Through Ngong, yeah.
Right. How was it? How was the journey like? How was
the journey was tough, very tiresome.
Did you raise any funds as expected?
Yes, we raised some funds.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, that's great. And one would want to understand, you say that your organization has been in existence from 1997, pretty much addressing the same concerns, and we appreciate that it's a safe house for very many girls. But just what is the status of these concerns that you speak to, FGM, early marriages in the country? Because then one would want to say that perhaps you begin at this point with the hope that at some point in time we say that, you know, we are done with FGM, it's the end of the game. But then years on, the cases continue to be rampant. Yeah,
it has gone down. We appreciate because of the stakeholders who are working towards finishing the FGM and earlier marriages, but it's still there. And then the problem we have now is people have a new way of doing it without people doing.
Yes.
Like they do FGM for girls at night.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And like the other years, they were doing it openly. It was a ceremony. Okay. It was something, they do it openly. So when the government said it is illegal, they started having new ways of doing FGM. Okay. So it's still there, but it has gone down. Yeah.
All right. If you're going to look at the communities that you know are conducting FGM in the country, which ones are quite you know so much engraved into it?
The Somalis, the Maasais, I think the Kisis, the Kalenjins. So we have quite a number of tribes that are still doing it. Okay. Yeah.
Do you suppose the girls are well aware of the dangers that come along with this? Because if you say that now they have derived other ways and forms of doing it, you know, so that they're not caught up with the law and all that. And there are also cases where you find that there's some little girls who would just decide to hide themselves and perhaps proceed, to go for the cut, or even proceed to go and get married, even as you struggle to perhaps enlighten them of the dangers of this. What exactly informs this, and what would we need to do to ensure then that it becomes a game of the past?
The girls are aware that the government doesn't want that.
Yet there are some of them who would hide.
But they more listen to their parents, because the father will tell them, or will tell the girl, if you run away, I'll curse you. So the girl will be having a fear of being cursed. So most of the time, they know there are dangers, but they prefer going for it because of the curse or something, or the stigma in the community. Like they are being told you cannot get married until you undergo FGM. So they fear that, the future. They fear the future,
Just how much is this effort for awareness, paying, as well as just how crucial would the education element be in terms of enlightening the girls and the community at large, so that they know that, well, aside from the traditions and the cultures, really, there's not much of a caste that is pegged to this?
They know very little. Because in schools, they don't tell them that it's not true that when you are cast, you're going to die or something. So it's like the parent who has the power over it, Because the schools, the government is very little awareness, especially in the interior. Many girls don't know that. So most of our girls, like half of it, we have those who have run from FGM, and half after already they have gone through FGM. So they were running because they don't want to get married to an old person. So some of them know that FGM is bad, or they know FGM is better than getting married very early.
Very early.
So
they'd rather go for that. Well, interesting. There's a lot of commitment to this, a lot of funding.
A lot, yeah.
And like you say, the government has literally banned these. What then are the missing gaps? And why is it then that there'll be so much money, funding pegged to that, as well as, the government committed to saying that we should end and shun FGM, yet this knowledge does not get to the right ears?
The problem, I think, is there because people are discussing the issues in big hotels like in Nairobi, but no one goes to the grassroots. Our organization is down there, but we don't have funding. Like when we have rescued girls, we rarely get any support from the government. So sometimes you get overwhelmed because you don't have school fees, you don't have food, and then you end up sending them back to the community. Why? Because the government is not ready to support you. When they get the money for anti-FGM, they just go to big hotels, discuss about the whatever they want to implement, but it never goes down to grassroots. So the problem is up here, up there in the government, but they never come to the grassroots.
And you I think your last your last stop on this 170 kilometers journey was at the anti-FGM board. Just how much? First of all, what was your target as you were headed there? And how much did you get? Not in terms of money, or not in terms of monetary value, but in terms of, that commitment of government, or perhaps these important bodies in terms of addressing the same.
I think what we have achieved is we took our petition to the Speaker's Parliament. We took another one to the anti-FGM board, but we don't know whether it will go anywhere or not. So that's the biggest we have achieved. The other time we have been not able to take anything because it's like they were not there. So the problem is when you petition anything, nobody looks at it. So they just ignore.
So what is this that motivates you? Because you almost, sound like you are fighting a losing battle. I know there's the satisfaction of seeing the girls, getting safety and growing to being, women of substance. But just what is this that motivates you and Bishop to keep going despite all these roadblocks?
what motivates us is when we rescue a girl, we take her through education, graduate, get a job, help the community. That is what drives us. Yeah, because we have so many, over 1,500 girls have gone through our organization, and they have succeeded, and they are our ambassadors. They are out. They are helping their sisters. They are helping their cousins. Yeah.
Just how are they allowed? Just how much latitude do they have to penetrate, you know, these areas, the villages, and even speak to the oldies and tell them that perhaps these practices have been overtaken by time?
When they graduate, when they go for a graduation ceremony, they will say that this girl ran away and she came with something, so they impress her. But telling them openly, so openly, that you should stop this is not as easy as possible. So what they do, when you have a sister, a young sister, you take her to somewhere like a boarding school, take her to a rescue center, and make sure that she doesn't undergo the FGM. That's the only way out. Or you tell them she got a sponsor and she can't be coming home during December holidays, because the only time they have to do FGM is December holidays, because it's longer than the other time. So they use tricky ways to save them. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I'm curious to understand, what are some of the proposals you have presented when you say that you have presented a petition, or perhaps you have presented, you know, a document that you would wish then becomes a bill and assented to law. What are some of the proposals that you have incorporated? And if you are to be sitting with other stakeholders, what would you identify, or what would you tell them are the gaps now that you have a clear picture of what it is like, you know, sitting in these hotels as well as going down on ground?
We were proposing to have a safer society for everyone.
Okay.
A society where everybody has a right, or they are equal, they're given their own rights. So we just wanted everyone to be heard, to be given their rights.
And there are very many proposals in relation to that. I mean, as we speak today, the government has committed so much, including women members of parliament. They have committed so much towards addressing all these concerns of gender. FGM incorporated therein, early marriages incorporated therein. Why do you suppose then this will be a different call compared to all this that have been spoken about?
If everyone decide to do something, if I decide to change, I will change. But when you just say, I want to change, and you don't change, change will never come. So unless everybody or everyone in the society decided to change, like the politicians, okay, they say things on TVs, on barazas, but they are never serious. They don't mean it. So most of the time, okay, they go discuss it, but it's not true. Yeah.
Good policies are drivers of change. Good policies are drivers of development. What do you suppose are the policy gaps that we get to experience today as to FGM, as to gender concerns, as to early marriages, and just how different do you suppose we should approach this?
The policies are there and they are very good, but implementation is not there.
Right.
Or when they are implementing, there's something that comes in between. Like we have so much corruption on things, like when a man is caught, or those women who cut the girls, they have a way of maneuvering and paying. Yeah. So they pay something and they get out. So the policies are good, but implementation is not.
Till when are we expecting to see this change that you are driving for as an organization, that you wake up and, you know, as a couple decide that this morning we are going to set off for 170 kilometers journey because we are committed and we are certain that this is going to bring change? What is this that then we should bank on, we should count on as a society, as a country?
We should be, all of us, be responsible.
Okay.
Yeah, we should take care of everyone. We should listen to one another. And we are hoping that one day FGM will end, early marriages will end. But it will not be something like 2 years or 5 years or 10 years to come.
Now?
It will take a lot of time.
For real?
Yeah. Unless we take everybody through education, change their mindset, that is when they'll get, I think, somewhere to change. Because most of the time we still have people who drop out of school.
Right.
And when they go out there, they are very ready to embrace their culture.
Okay.
So we have the good side of the culture and we have bad side. So it depends. When everyone goes through education, go to the highest, they will change. But as long as we still have people who are not going to school, it's very hard.
It's very difficult. Well,
yeah.
so unfortunate. Josephine Pasiani, where do you come from?
I'm from Narok County.
From Narok.
Yeah.
So you're talking about things you have seen firsthand? The situation was different for you, or?
I'm a Maasai.
You're a Maasai.
Yes. But married to a Kikuyu.
yes. Of course, Bishop Patrick Ngigi.
Yeah, exactly.
Definitely the name betrays him.
Yeah.
Have you encountered something of this nature?
Of course, I've encountered.
All right.
Yeah.
What would
I know everything. I know even what is happening now.
So what got you off the hook, if you would say?
It's not something that is interesting.
Right.
It's bad.
It is bad.
Yeah.
But of course, we will get to visit you and visit the girls sometime and just get to hear what their stories are.
You're welcome. Yeah.
And you know, as well, highlight and speak about what it is that you're doing.
Yes.
You know, we say that it might take long for us to get to the ultimate goal.
It is going to take a lot.
Must soldier on.
Yeah.
Must soldier on. So we appreciate what it is that you continue to do, and we hope that you continue to create safe spaces for the girls. Your parting shot as you speak to them.
Yeah, thank you.
What would be your parting shot?
I want to say that if we give girls an opportunity to get education, they will change the society. Right. And that is why when we get girls, even after they have gone through FGM, we'll continue taking them to school because we know they are the change makers. They will come and change the society. Okay. Yeah, slowly by slowly. So we should never give up.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. I want you to look at that camera as well. Speak to the girls out there that perhaps could be wondering, where can I run to? Where do I begin? Tell them about your organization, maybe the name of your organization, and how they could reach you out in the event that they would seek to have that help.
So our organization is called Mission with a Vision. We are based in Narok, Narok Town. It's not far from Narok Town. It's we have a rescue center or a safe house for girls, teenage girls mainly. We don't have boys. Okay. Well, so we have girls, and what we do, we rescue them. We take them through education. We make sure that they go through life and get a chance to have their own decisions. If it is getting married, they are given an opportunity to choose whoever they want to marry to. And where you will get us, most of the girls, I think 90 or 99%, they come through the children's office. So most of the time we have them being committed by the courts in our place, because most of the time you cannot just wake up and they pick and go.
All right.
So we get them from the children's department. Okay. So that is where you can get us. Mission with a Vision. We are on Facebook, in Twitter.
Across all the social media platforms.
Mission
Twitter, Instagram.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much, Josephine. We certainly hope that more girls continue to get a safe space there. But ultimately, like you say, it will take long, but we are hopeful that at some point in time, then we'll say FGM is a game of the past, early marriages are a game of the past, femicide cases are a game of the past, and all these gender concerns that we have as a country. Josephine Pasiani, asante sana, regards to Bishop, but of course, continue the good work
Thank you.
Yes, and that's the march that we had on Hersey. It was great having you, and as well continue, reaching out to us so that we can tell all these beautiful stories about our girls, about our mothers, our wives, our sisters. It is always a great pleasure doing that. My name is Linda Alela. I was doing this with our sign language interpreter, Rhoda Nyamai, and as with the rest of the team, we say asante sana as we look forward to see you again on Saturday. Do have yourself a lovely night. Bye-bye.